Hello, and welcome to Title Talk in Real Estate in New York. I'm Brenda Posner, and today we have Kristen Fortino with us. So, Kristen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, thank you for having me. My name is Kristen Fortino. I am the owner and the founder of One Point Real Estate Group. We're a full-service real estate company in Manhattan, located downtown, with a focus on project management and assisting our clients with managing their construction project and extended team, among many other aspects.
Okay, wonderful. So, how should people know, or what should they ask when trying to decide what general contractor to go with?
So typically right away, what I always tell whenever we're walking, a project or a space that somebody just either newly bought, or maybe it's an existing home or, commercial space that they have, right away, what we try to do is get at least 3 GCs into the property to help us walk the space and understand what their quotes are going to be. And maybe some of them have, different strategies and different opinions as to how to go about certain projects. But I always say the first thing to do is, before you jump and just pick one GC, I always say to interview at least 2 or 3, get to know them, understand how they work so that they know how you work, which is really important because construction can be quite overwhelming. And then, you take a look at their bids. They put together proposals, pricing, timing, all of that, and see what is the best fit for you. And then once you sign on, you kind of take it from there. But definitely important to shop around for a little bit.
Totally makes sense. So, how early should the bidding process begin for the contractor?
I would say as soon as possible. If it depends. If you have an existing space and you're like, what, I want to renovate my whole house. I would say as soon as you have that idea that you want to renovate, to start calling in a couple of people, because what's going to happen is they'll help you decide timing, help understand, what kind of permits you need and how long those are going to take. They'll help you understand, especially now that I think we talked about this earlier today too, about how, materials are costing more and they're taking much longer to be delivered. So you want to make sure that you have all of those ducks in a row and all your information at your fingertips so that you can make the best decision for you with an existing asset. And I would say the same goes with something you're going to purchase. If it's something that needs a full gut and you want to understand, okay, where should my initial offer be? Knowing that I need to fully gut this home, I need to understand how much it's actually going to cost me so that you can make, an educated and smart decision, based off of these experts, whether they're architects or GCs or myself coming in and helping you understand kind of the process, timing, and how much money that will cost. So as soon as possible, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what should someone expect if they hire you to help manage the process?
Great question. You can expect full transparency first and foremost. The one thing that I try to minimize as often as I possibly can are surprises, especially ones that aren't great. And I try to give my clients, the full range. I'll let them know what they should expect from me, which is constant communication. Know that I'm in their corner, so I have their best interest and at heart and fully loyal to all of my clients. And if I'm unsure of something, then I will always double check myself. Or if I need, their opinion and I want to reconfirm with them, I'll always make sure I do that before making any decisions. But with me, you'll always get transparency, honesty, and, very hard work, because what I want to treat my clients, and I do treat my clients the way that I would want to be treated on their end. So you get that with me, and then you get a full team of professionals. It's not just me that's helping you manage this project. We have all these resources when it comes to special inspections and environmental, construction experience, zoning code experts. We have all of that here with our exclusive partnership, so we can get everything done without a blip. And it's a great partnership to have when you're working with One Point.
That sounds like taking a lot of weight off a owner's head.
Yes, that's the goal, to take that stress and everything so that they can focus on the day to day and we can take that stress off of you. That's exactly why we're here.
Okay. So how do you know, or how would somebody know if they need an architect for a project?
So usually you get hired for art. Usually we hire architects when you start moving, you start reconfiguring spaces, especially, you're going to need a structural engineer for certain things. If you're moving pipes and electric and you want to take the kitchen from the back left corner and bring it up to the front of the house. When you start reconfiguring spaces, that's when you want an architect to come in and say, okay, if I have 1,000 square feet on the first floor, these are some of my ideas. How can we best lay out this space to not only make it functional and efficient, but for it to, make sense, especially for the way that, certain people may live within their home. Everyone has different needs within their home. So the first and foremost, it's when you start reconfiguring and moving things, that's when you want to call in an architect. And sometimes even you want to bring in an architect before the GC so you can understand, does it make sense from a design perspective to move that kitchen or to add the bathroom in this space, and what is that going to do? So depending on the scope will depend when each of those partners should come in. But that's typically when we bring in the architects.
Okay. And how do people know when a project's going to need permits?
Oh, okay. So depending on the city, in New York, obviously New York is its own animal, and I feel like you always need a permit for everything. But you definitely need permits, just like when I said, when you start moving pipes, when you start putting in new electric, moving electric. If you're doing, depending on the type of renovation you're doing, there's something called an Alt 1 versus an Alt 2. D14s. There are all these different permits that you would need to file based off of the scope of the project. If it's just cosmetic, where you're saying, I'm going to keep everything the way it is, but I want to get new cabinets for my kitchen, you don't need a permit for cosmetics. Those are simple swaps. But when it comes down to, moving the pipes, adding a closet requires a permit, especially if you're in co-ops. All of that, those things require permits. And obviously, if you have questions about those, sometimes the GC can file those, sometimes the architects can, or we can also help file those with our partnership. So no matter what, if there is always that question, we have it covered on this end for sure.
Okay. So just so people know, when's the best time to call you? Like if they're shopping around and purchasing a home, because that's really what we're trying to help people do, with this channel. What's the best time to call you in?
If you're right away. So if you're shopping around and that your budget is focusing you more towards fixer-uppers or things that are maybe a little outdated, and you have questions about construction and or even just like general, you want to get a general sense of what some of this work may cost and timing and all of that jazz, that's when you want to call us in. We have done walkthroughs plenty of times with people, even just the first time them seeing some stuff, because they know that their home is going to need a little bit of a fix, and they want to make sure that they are within their means. And that's what we're here for. We're here to educate. We're here to be a guiding team. And then at the end of the day, if you end up hiring us, then we will continue to do that for you. But the sooner the better, for sure. That way you can make your educated decision at the end of the day.
That makes sense. There's a lot of properties need a lot of work.
Yes,
so.
definitely. Definitely.
So thank you so much, Kristen, for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Happy to have you. Okay, everybody have a great day.
Have a good one.